welcome to another episode of Dexter's Diary. What's up? Happy Tuesday. So today I'm jumping right on in, and I had so many things I wanted to talk about, and I'm just gonna leave those things on the floor because it's 2019 and we're still at the beginning of the year, and people are still struggling with things I feel like we should have let go a long time ago. But I do understand that my timeline is not the same as anyone else's timeline, and we get to where we're gonna go when we get there. And I'm talking about change, and so many people, like I think I've said this so many times, I don't do New Year's resolutions because I feel like they are things that we are not able to live up to on a realistic plane. You know, I can say that for me, like, I'm a smoker, and I know various smokers who are like, oh, I'm gonna quit smoking for the new year, blah, blah, blah. And it's not realistic. Like, I've tried it. It's not fucking realistic. It really, really isn't, to say like at the stroke of midnight, that's it. And you know, we do these things in so many ways, whether it's losing weight or getting a new job or implementing healthier living, whatever it is that you want to change in your life, it does not happen at the stroke of midnight. Understand that. There are steps that need to be taken. There's a method to putting all the madness into logic. You know, you just can't wake up and say like, this is it, and think that that's how it's going to happen. And we get discouraged because when it doesn't happen the way that we think it's going to happen, and we don't fulfill the obligations that we wanted to fulfill to ourselves on a personal level, we get discouraged and we pull back and we feel defeated. And I can't stress this enough. I cannot stress this enough. We are human beings. We are human beings. We're going to falter. We're going to fail. We're going to do a lot of things that don't seem to be in our best interest for whatever the reason. That does not mean that tomorrow you can't get back on the horse. You know, like, I did a 2-month plan of workouts that I wanted to, but listen, I have it there. That's my guideline. Those are things that I want to do. And for the most part, I've done it, and I'm really proud of myself. The reality is, like, there are extenuating circumstances. The week of my sister's birthday, there were so many things that needed to be done, and I wasn't able to complete the workouts the way I wanted to, or not even attempt, because I was so tired from running around and doing X, Y, Z and whatever. Do I punish myself because I didn't get to do them? No. Like, it's life. You're not always going to be able to complete things in the way that you want to complete them. You know what I mean? Like, that's the reality of it. It doesn't mean that you are now absolved from trying, though. You are now absolved from not doing the things that you wanted to do. Change is a constant thing. Change is something that you implement every day, every fucking day. It's so easy to fall back into old situations. You've been who you were a lot longer than who you want to be. And it's so easy to remain there. And easy, but not so much comfortable, because the reason for wanting change is because you're no longer happy in the space that you're in, right? But doing those extra push-ups, doing that squat, not getting the Pop-Tarts are my vice, not getting the Pop-Tarts today, putting in an extra 15 minutes to complete this workout. Like whatever it is that you need to do, or staying up late to complete your paper, or just even going online to look into schools that you want to go to. Like it's so easy to say, I don't have time for this or whatever, blah, 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 blah. Whatever excuse that you can come up with to validate the fact that you're not doing the very same thing that you said you wanted to do, it's so easy to do that. But change is methodical. It's not something that happens overnight. Get your plan together, write it down, have something that you can look to. And I can't stress this enough. Like the reason for me writing things down, and I'm really good at I hate writing things down. I really do, because I feel like I can hold on to information. I'm really smart, blah, 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 blah. But even with all that, it allows me to go back and see, okay, today I didn't complete this. I can either tack it on to tomorrow, or my rest day is going to be a workout day. You know what I mean? Like, so that way I'm not really missing anything, and I'm able to move things around, and I have a point of reference. And this allows me to stay in line with what I'm working on. And it gives me something to look forward to. So when I get on the scale, I'm like, all right, this is my starting weight. This is where I'm at. And I use weight loss because I feel like it's the easiest example for people to latch onto. Like I said, it could be anything. As far as when I have quit smoking before, and I didn't do a cold turkey. I started minimizing the amount of cigarettes that I was smoking. So if I was smoking like 10 cigarettes a day, then what I would do is I would take 4 cigarettes with me and leave my pack at home. So that way I wouldn't want to buy a pack of cigarettes while I was out, because I had cigarettes on me and I wasn't smoking as much. Excuse me. And then when I get home, you know what I mean? Like, I'd space it out. So that way, if I was smoking a pack, if a pack lasted me 2 days, I'm trying to stretch it into 3 days, or I'm trying to stretch it into 4 days. And to the point where I'm really not even, or pushing it, like the first thing, if you're not a smoker, then you understand, but the first thing in the morning is to smoke. That's what we do. So then what I'm doing is when I get up in the morning, I'm not smoking. That's not my first point of reference. I'm pushing it back. And when I feel like I want to smoke, you know what, let me find something else, like whatever. And it actually worked out really well. And I was able to just not smoke anymore. The reason why I ended up picking up smoking was stress. Something really stressful happened. I was like, and it's my coping mechanism for stress. So now my thing is to find something else to replace, something positive to replace the negative that I'm doing. And I do that a lot with things in my life. So if I'm doing something negative, I'm trying to find something positive to replace that. So then the more I do the positive, the less I want to do the negative, you know? So it's the same thing with anything in your life. You have to set up a plan, because if you're not, and it's been said from scientists, it's been said from spiritualists, it's been said, like, you have to plan these things out. As much as we like to believe that we're just above it all, we're not. You have to have a plan of action. You have to have a course of action. It just makes it easier, and it takes a level of stress off of you. Now, it took me about 2 hours to plan this whole thing out, because I realized what I was doing is, yeah, I'm going for a run every day. I'm going for a jog every day, blah, blah, blah. And what I'm doing is I'm overusing certain muscles and underusing other muscles. And so by the end of the week, my feet are killing me. I'm every day. And I'm like, all right, this is not going to work in the long haul, because at some point I'm not going to want to do it because my feet hurt. Like, you know, like, yeah, I'm losing the weight, but my feet are killing me. And that's my main source. So now I'm implementing yoga. I'm implementing cardio. I'm implementing upper body. Like, every day I'm working something different out, but every day I'm moving. And I have a point of reference. All right, so today is Tuesday. Today's upper body. Tomorrow's cardio. Tomorrow's the day after that, high intensity. I have my rest days. Again, their life does happen, and there are going to be days where I can't get to my workout. So now I got to switch things up, but it allows me a visual on how I'm going to do this, how I'm going to reconstruct what I wasn't able to do before. You know, when you are talking about change, when you are thinking about change, when you are in the space of changing your narrative, you have to plan these things out. It does not happen overnight. And planning can be is whatever it is to you. Whatever your visual, whether it's a dry erase board, whether it's just a notebook, whether it's on your phone as a Post-it, whatever it is that you need to get to that point, do it, implement it. You know, some people, at one point I used to write my affirmations on my mirror in the bathroom, and every week I would change it. But every day, because the job I was working at the time required me to be up really early in the morning. So every morning I would get up and that's the first thing I would see. And it became more subliminal over time because I didn't have to read it. I just knew that it was going to be there. And that was something for me that worked, you know. Excuse me. Now getting it off with alcohol every week was a whole other story. So I've changed that method because it just becomes a little bit more cumbersome. And now I have Post-its on my wall of things that I see every day. You know, whatever sayings or whatever affirmations that I feel were poignant and really hit close to home, I wrote them down. And I get to see this every day, and I get to keep it in my head every day. You know, whatever it is that you need to implement it. But there are going to be times where you falter, and we have to leave room for error, and we have to be okay with that. What's not okay is not starting at all. You know, I have so many people in my life who hit me up and they're like, oh, I want to do this, but it's just, I hate the word hard. Hard to me just means like, it's just impenetrable. And I really like, it's not only just writing it down, but changing the way that you view changing the way that you view things, changing your perspective, changing your verbiage is very, very important, because what we say essentially becomes our truth. You know, if you wake up in the morning and be like, I'm gonna have a bad day, 9 times out of 10, you're gonna have a bad day because you put that out there. You expected it. And so everything in the world is gonna conspire for you to have a fucking bad day. That's really what it is. There are mornings when I wake up and I'm super exuberant. I'm just super, and it's just like, everything's like, bing, 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 bing. It just falls in line. I'm just like, yes. And it's not to do with the weather. It doesn't, I mean, if the sun is shining, I'm a bit, but that's vitamin D, and that's what we need. Vitamin D. It's good for us. But like, I feel this way whether it's raining. I feel the way, like, you know, what your outlook changes so many things around you. It's so important to see that you are in control of everything that happens. Yeah, there are extenuating circumstances. I'm not minimizing that. I'm just saying everything within this parameter is all you. And once you figure that part out, it extends into so many different things. You know, like, you have to be methodical about it, and you have to know that yes, you are human, but also in that humanness, you are in control of how you go about your life. And if you allow things that other people said to control that, then you're essentially giving them control. You're essentially saying like, I'm not fit to rule my life. And so here you go, so-and-so person who is not fucking thinking about me. Like, this can't be it. Think about the things that you want to change. Plan out the things that you want to change, and then execute them. And know that there is room for error. It's no different than starting a business. Are you not going to start the business because so many businesses tend to fail? What if yours doesn't fail? You know, like, people come up with makeup lines and fashion lines, and there's so many of them. You would think that the market is oversaturated. Why even attempt? But why not? Why not? People will very well buy your stuff. People will very well patronize. People look for, your thing might be the very different thing that people were looking for. You know, everything has a season, yes, but you got to be consistent with the way that you move about your life. And consistency is not always 100%. If you're even doing it at 80%, if you're even doing it at 60%, you're at least doing it. You're at least doing it. It's up to you. No matter what happens in your life, at some point it's up to you. And you can spend time not doing shit and being miserable, or you can spend time being miserable, or you can just fucking do it. And be proud of your small accomplishments. Be proud of whatever the fuck that you're doing in that moment, because you cannot be doing anything, you know, like, what's the saying? Like, oh, you can actually, oh shit. I have a friend and we had a whole conversation and she's like, I won't go to the gym because I feel like people are watching me. I'm like, nobody's even thinking about you. Like, people are in the gym doing their own thing. And she's like, no, the moment I walk into a gym, if one person turns and looks at me, I'm walking out. And I'm like, they're not even thinking about you. People are just like, oh, somebody walked in and then let me get back to whatever. But in her mind, this makes sense. But also what it does is it's limiting her from doing what she feels she has to do for herself. Because she's already made a narrative for people looking at her. And I'm like, what the? It's not true. It's not true. And you're stopping yourself from living your life. You're stopping yourself from doing something that you feel was actually important for you to drive to the gym. First of all, get up, put these clothes on, get out the house, drive to the gym, only to get to the door and have one person look at you and you be like, nah, because they think I'm fat. You can't live your life like this. But these are the stories that we tell ourselves in order to not do the things that we really want to do and keep us in the spaces that we really don't want to be in. Where are you going with this? What is it doing for you? Stop giving people power over your life. And again, it's funny because these are not people she even knows. Like, she's just going to the gym. So it's not necessarily people who are even in your corner. It's just fucking people on the street. Like, but I get it, you know? I think at some point we've all been there and we've all lived that. And some of us are still living it. You know, and this conversation that took place with my homegirl was like a week ago. And I'm like, what the hell are you doing? But this is mind over matter. And if you allow your mind to take over certain things, you're going to stay stuck until the moment that you've really had enough. And I feel like for her and for many of us, it's she's not tired of feeling how she's feeling yet. She's not courageous enough to be like, you know what, fuck, I don't care who's thinking what they're thinking. I'm going to do what I got to do. And so many of us have been there. So many of us are still there, that we lack courage to change our lives. But I'm telling you that at the core of it, it's not even courage. It's just the want and taking that want and implementing it into a reality. That's really what it comes down to. You gotta want it bad enough to make it real. And some of us don't want it yet. And some of us do. In the meantime, between time, I'll see you on the side. Love you guys. Bye.